Imagine a bird so friendly that it walked right up to humans, not knowing it was walking straight into extinction. The dodo wasn't stupid or weak. It was simply too trusting, too peaceful for a world that suddenly changed. Today, we'll uncover the real reason this extraordinary bird vanished forever. 1. The Lost Paradise. Mauritius before humans. Our story begins on the isolated island of Mauritius, deep in the Indian Ocean, east of Madagascar. For millions of years, this tropical paradise remained untouched by human hands. No predators, no large mammals, no hunters, just dense forests, rich fruits, and a calm, balanced ecosystem. Among these peaceful surroundings lived a large, gentle bird, the dodo. It was about 1 meter tall, weighed up to 20 kilograms, and had short wings that could no longer lift it into the sky. The dodo evolved from pigeons that had once flown to Mauritius. But in a land without threats, flight became unnecessary. Over generations, it lost the ability to fly, a decision of evolution that would one day seal its fate. The dodo lived a safe, peaceful life, nesting on the ground, feeding on fallen fruits, seeds, and nuts, and walking freely under the tropical canopy. For thousands of years, this bird lived in harmony with nature, until one day everything changed. 2. 1598. When humans arrived. The year was 1598. Dutch sailors, part of a fleet exploring new trade routes, landed on Mauritius. To them, this island was just another stop to rest, gather supplies, and hunt fresh food. But to the dodo, it was the beginning of the end. When the sailors encountered the dodos, they were stunned. These strange, plump birds didn't fly, didn't run, and didn't seem afraid. They curiously approached the humans, completely unaware that these visitors would be their greatest threat. At first, the sailors were fascinated, but hunger quickly overpowered fascination. The dodo was easy to catch, slow to move, and large enough to feed a crew. Reports suggest the meat wasn't very tasty, oily and tough, but when you've been months at sea, any food will do. Within a few short years, dodos were hunted mercilessly, but hunting alone didn't cause their extinction. The real disaster came with what humans brought with them. 3. The hidden killers, rats, pigs, and dogs. When the Dutch arrived, they brought more than weapons and tools. Their ships carried rats, pigs, monkeys, and dogs, stowaways that would unleash silent chaos. The dodo, which laid its eggs on the ground, had never faced predators, but now its simple nests became easy targets. Rats devoured the eggs. Pigs rooted through nests and ate chicks. Dogs chased adult birds for sport. The dodo had no defenses, no instinct to fight, no ability to fly, and no time to adapt. In just a few generations, the population crashed. Mauritius, once a safe haven, was now crawling with predators. The dodo's trust in its environment, the very thing that once kept it safe, became its greatest weakness. 4. The vanishing forests. Habitat destruction. As if predators weren't enough, humans also began destroying the island's forests. They chopped down trees for timber, burned land for settlements, and cleared fields for crops. The dodo's home, the thick forest that sheltered and fed it, began to disappear. Without trees, the fruits it relied on vanished. Without fruits, starvation followed. The dodo wasn't a migratory bird. It couldn't fly to another island or find new feeding grounds. Once its habitat was gone, it had nowhere to go. By the mid-1600s, reports of dodo sightings grew rare. The few that remained lived in remote parts of Mauritius, clinging to survival. 5. Was the dodo really dumb? For centuries, the dodo has been mocked as the symbol of stupidity, as dead as a dodo. But science has revealed a very different story. The dodo wasn't stupid. It was specialized. It evolved perfectly for an environment that was safe for millions of years. Why develop fear or flight when nothing hunted you? Modern research on the dodo's skull shows that its brain size was similar to that of modern pigeons. And pigeons are surprisingly intelligent. So the dodo was no fool. It was simply unprepared for the sudden arrival of humans and the chaos they brought. The tragedy of the dodo isn't that it was dumb. It's that it was innocent in a world that punished innocence. 6. The final century. Extinction comes fast. The timeline of the dodo's downfall is shockingly short. Humans arrived in 1598. The last confirmed dodo sighting was in 1681. That's less than 83 years from first contact to complete extinction. Imagine, a species that had survived for millions of years was erased in the span of one human lifetime. Sailors' journals from that time mentioned dodos becoming increasingly rare. By the late 1600s, even settlers who searched for them couldn't find a single bird. Their numbers had dropped too low, their eggs were eaten, their homes destroyed, their species gone forever. 7. Rediscovery. Through bones. For almost 2 centuries, the dodo was little more than a legend, a cautionary tale, half believed and half forgotten. Then in the 19th century, scientists began finding dodo bones in the Mauritius marshes of Mauritius. These discoveries changed everything. By studying the fossils, researchers reconstructed what the dodo looked like, how it lived, and how it died. They learned it wasn't clumsy. Its large body was built for strength, not speed. It was well adapted to a life of stability and abundance. Each bone told a story of evolution, peace, and extinction. The dodo had returned not as a living creature, but as a powerful symbol of what humans can destroy when they don't respect nature. 8. The real reason, human impact. So what really caused the dodo's extinction? Not stupidity, not natural selection, but human interference. Here's the breakdown of the true causes. Overhunting. Sailors killed dodos in huge numbers for food. Invasive species, rats, pigs, monkeys, and dogs, destroyed eggs and chicks. Habitat loss. Forests were cut down for farming and settlements. Slow reproduction. Dodos laid just 1 egg per clutch, making recovery impossible. Lack of fear. Their friendliness made them easy prey. These factors combined into a perfect storm of extinction. Once humans set foot on Mauritius, the dodo's fate was sealed. It wasn't just the loss of a species, it was the loss of balance. The dodo had played an important role in spreading seeds and maintaining forest growth. When it vanished, the island's ecosystem changed forever. 9. Lessons from the dodo. A warning for humanity. The dodo's extinction is more than history. It's a warning of what happens when humans exploit nature without understanding it. Today, many animals face the same threats the dodo once did. Deforestation, hunting, climate change, and invasive species. Elephants, rhinos, tigers, orangutans, all are on the edge because of human activity. The dodo's story pushed scientists and conservationists to realize something vital. Extinction isn't natural anymore. It's man-made. It inspired early environmental movements and the creation of wildlife protection laws. In a strange way, the dodo helped awaken humanity's conscience. Some modern scientists are even exploring de-extinction, using preserved dodo DNA and pigeon genetics to possibly bring the species back one day. But even if that happens, it won't erase what we did. The real goal isn't to bring back the dodo. It's to make sure no other species follows its path. 10. The legacy of the dodo. The dodo may be gone, but its spirit lives on. It stands as a symbol of lost innocence, of how beauty and peace can vanish when met with greed and carelessness. Today, Mauritius honors the dodo as part of its identity. It appears on coins, emblems, and stamps, not as a reminder of failure, but as a promise to do better. The dodo's story teaches us that evolution can't protect life from human destruction, but understanding and respect can. Every species, no matter how strange or small, plays a role in our planet's balance. And when one disappears, a piece of the Earth's story disappears with it. Like, share and subscribe.